Welcome to my book reviews, where I show you some of my favourite books and the books that I think will help you find more joy and more freedom in your life. And the one I'm going to start with today is Martha Beck's Finding Your Own North Star. It's quite a thick book and, takes a bit of commitment. In fact, when I first got it, I put it on the shelf for 2 years, thinking it was rather too many words for my tastes. And it's quite densely packed in this edition at least. But this 20-year-old book is somewhat of a classic, and it's where she introduces the idea of you finding your own North Star, your reason for being here on this earth, what you were born to do. And that includes your career, it includes the way that you live your life, it includes who you live with, and all of your experiences and outcomes that you could ever imagine, and how to make the choices within those that are going to give you the most joy and the most freedom. So in this book, she covers a number of things. It's a very practical book. You can use it as a workbook. There are lots of exercises for you to be able to work through and really kind of coach yourself. So she starts by sharing the difference between the essential self, your very natural self, the who you were when you were born, and then talks about the social self, the self that's adapted to the culture you were brought up in, and all the experiences you've had along the way that perhaps knock you off the truth of who you were born to be, the taking us away from who we really are, our authentic selves. And basically it's about how to reconnect to that self and how to find it, even if you really aren't sure where you can start with that. It gets you going. The middle section, she talks about using one of her main somatic techniques, really stepping away from its mind and our mind and its limiting perspective, and looking at the body as a way of guiding us. Now, the body is incredibly sophisticated, and I talk a lot about this in my coaching with my clients, sharing different ways of accessing the wisdom of the body, far, far wiser than the mind, although the mind and the body make a great partnership. And for me, this is really about accessing the heart, finding our heart's desires and learning to follow the breadcrumbs of our hearts to the next chapter of our lives that's going to be happier and more freeing and more joyful than the previous one, and dealing with any lumps and bumps along the way. And in terms of lumps and bumps, although she takes us into the body compass in a lot of detail to make the decisions in the moment, she also gives us a map, which is really what she calls the change cycle. And this is how we move around life in a circle, going through what she calls 4 squares, or what I like to think of as the seasons. For me, square 1 is winter, about death and rebirth in our life. Square 2 is about dreaming and scheming, where all the shoots of new ideas pop up, which is like spring. Summer is the hero's saga for me, her square 3, which is all about life and all its challenges and all its tests, if you like, along the way, and how we navigate these in the way that's easiest for us. And then going into what she calls square 4, the promised land, or for me is the autumn or the fall, where we're kind of reaping the benefits of all our hard work, knowing that we'll get back to winter or square 1 at some point. And this is actually quite a sophisticated model when we introduce it to different areas of our lives at once, and it can be fleshed out to show us what tools we need to get us out of each one, how to go about thinking within each square or within each season. So I love this book for its depth and the real practical nature of its presentation and the many anecdotes. Martha is a very witty writer. She's an ex-Harvard professor. She's got a huge amount of knowledge, and she's got a great way of putting that across to us. So if you want to get started in life coaching and you're not sure whether to hire a coach yet, or if you're already working with me or a Martha Beck Wayfinder life coach, then this book is an excellent manual or toe in the water to help you find your own way forward, to find basically your true, easy, freeing, liberating path in life. So yeah, thoroughly recommended. I'd love to hear in the comments how many stars you would give this book if you've read it, and how you find it, and if you've read any other of Martha's books.